Hey, what's good, family? It's the weekend. The weekend is upon us. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are having an excellent day. Hope y'all have had an excellent week. Hope that everything went well for you this week. I know a lot of people were coming back to work and children were going back to school after the holiday, the 2 weeks of the holiday. So this week was the first week back. So I hope that you was able to get back into the swing of things. Hope and pray that everything is going well with you. Um, in the likelihood that you had, one of those days today, or you had one of those weeks, because we all know that in this life, a little rain must fall. Always, always remember this: tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. First and foremost, let me apologize for being late. I'm about 30 minutes late. My original video, I had set it to start at 12:45. Now I'm starting this at a quarter past one. So I apologize for that. I had to run an errand, had to take the dog out. And then when I came back and then I was doing the video that I had scheduled, I couldn't figure out how to just get into the video. So I did another video, which is this one. So for those of y'all who are waiting for me, I apologize. My sincere apologies. I hate. I know your time is very precious, and so I apologize for being late. Please forgive your brother. But in any event, I'm gonna get into the topic for this video. So as we saw, the LA area has just been devastated. Specifically, Pacific Palisades, Altadena, parts of Santa Monica, I think, and Eaton. I think that's the Eaton fires. So I think that was like parts of Pasadena, Altadena, and Pacific Palisades. Particularly Pacific Palisades, just been utterly just destroyed. Just it looks like a nuclear bomb has went off there. It's so sad. My my heart goes out to those people there. My prayers go out to them. I hope some way that they'll be able to get their lives back. I know it's going to be difficult. I just hate to see that. And that just goes to show you that we're blessed. Do not take anything for granted, please. And this goes to me too. Do not take anything for granted because you're not promised anything in this life. And that's loss of life too. And my condolences to the families who lost loved ones in those fires. They said the death toll is 11, and it may climb. Who knows? But just life is very precious above any and everything else. I know homes, clothing, vehicles, yes, those are valuable things as well. And they could be they're hard to replace though. But what's real hard to replace are the pictures, photos, documents. Those are hard to replace. So make sure that you store your family photos, legal documents like birth certificates, passports, marriage licenses, birth certificates, whatso have you. Make sure you store them in social security cards. Make sure you store them in fireproof safes, please. And this goes to yours truly. Make sure you store those in those things because once those things are hard to replace. They're hard to replace. Hard. For those in the of us that was in the military, your DD Form 214. Make sure you're storing those in a safe place, in a fireproof safe or something like that. Hard to replace. And again, my my heart, my condolences, and my prayers go out to the survivors of these fires, people who lost loved ones. My heart goes out to you. I can't imagine. So with that being said, it's time to bring some people to the carpet. California Governor Gavin Newsom, LA Mayor Karen Bass. I need y'all to come to the carpet. It's that time. Excuse me. Y'all lack of leadership and accountability are the driving force behind these fires. 7 years ago, when Trump was president the first time around, we had fires here in Northern California in Paradise, destroyed the town, destroyed it. I think 70, the death toll was higher in Paradise than it was in LA. I want to say it was in the 60s or 70s, maybe 80s. But a lot of people lost their lives, a lot of people lost property, and it was due to PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. That's what we know it. This is our utility company out here in California. Actually, it's a conglomerate. PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. They were held responsible. But when Donald Trump visited the area with Gavin Newsom, who was governor, who was, yeah, he was governor then. I believe he was governor in 2018. Let me see. Fact check myself. He told them, he said, make sure you rake these leaves up and get this dead wood. Get rid of all this debris in the forest, in your forest across the state. There's a lot of leaves, there's a lot of dead wood. He said it's going to cause these fires to expand. He said, make sure you get rid of it so we won't have this happen again. This was 7 years ago, 2018. Here we are 7 years later. We've had wildfires since then, but here we are again, and the same damn thing occurred, and thousands of people have lost property, lost precious memories because of incompetence of Gavin Newsom. He did not listen. This is a he wants to get into a pissing match with Donald Trump. A pissing match with him because he's Donald Trump. He's a Republican. Now, had Joe Biden told him to do it, then yeah, he would have done. He would have listened to Joe Biden. He would have adhered his advice. But being that it's Donald Trump, and we know Donald Trump is the most racist white man ever in the history of humankind. I know that's a lie, but this is what the media portrays. Trump is a villain. So why listen to him? I'm not saying Donald Trump is the most um, beautiful person to be around. Trump is very brash. He's very arrogant. Whatever. Okay. But when someone's giving you advice, trying to help you, and they're in the position to help you, take their ad- take their advice. Take heed to what they're saying. Trump told them to reroute their water, the reservoirs. The reservoirs in Southern California are dry. They've been reverted to go into Pacific Ocean. Reports were saying that the water was reverted into the ocean to save some fish. The water hydrants ran dry. The fire hydrants, excuse me, the fire hydrants ran dry. Again, the water was rerouted into the ocean to save some fish. Karen Bass, she cut $17.6 million from the LAFD, Los Angeles Fire Department. They spent all this time on DEI and hiring. Oh, I got a troll in here. What my brother Willie D say? Trolls are hoes. Yup, I got a troll in here. Okay, I just removed a troll hole. So, in any event, let me continue. Before I continue, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. So, moving along. So, Carrie Bass cut $17.6 million to the fire department. Let's see here. I mentioned that Newsom, they had the water rerouted to go into the ocean to save some damn fish instead of in the reservoirs to bring have water to the fire hydrants and to take care of the forest, to provide water for the firefighters. So lack of forest maintenance, that was on Gavin Newsom. No water for the water hydrants, which I mentioned, Gavin Newsom. Fire equipment, yeah. Fire equipment was donated to Ukraine a few months back. LA Mayor Karen Bass. Firefighters were terminated for not getting the jab a few years back. That was from Karen Bass's predecessor, Eric Garcetti, Gil Garcetti's son. Gil Garcetti was mayor of LA during the early stages of the pandemic, 2020. LA Mayor, former LA Mayor former LA Mayor Eric Garcetti. So that was on him. $17.6 million cut from the LAFD, Los Angeles Fire Department budget. Karen Bass, who's mayor now. Focus on DEI training and hiring. LA Mayor Karen Bass. Top 3 fire department officials hired not based on merit. Let me repeat this. The top 3 fire department officials hired not based on merit, but because they were lesbians. LA Mayor Karen Bass. And the fire captain came out yesterday and called out LA Mayor Karen Bass about the budget cuts. I guess it was the wrong thing to do because she was brought into the office and I guess her ass was handed to her. Reports said that she was fired, but that turned out to be false. They said that she kept her job. I don't know if they're gonna fire her later, what so have you, but this was a fire captain that came out and said this about about what Karen Bass was doing. So now you got backbiting behind the channels now with the mayor and people in the fire department. And this is just sad. And then not to mention that insurance companies dropped California residents because they didn't want to pay out billions of dollars in insurance claims. I read where California is doing an emergency hearing that to stop these insurance companies from dropping people. So I read that this last night. So we'll see how that's going to play out. But this is just a mess. It's just a mess. Gavin Newsom is incompetent and he's pathetic. Karen Bass is incompetent and she's pathetic. All they care about is DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. We have to be the first to hire the first lesbians, the first lesbian as a fire chief, fire captain. Can they do the damn job? Do they have leadership qualities? I don't care what their sexual preference is. I don't give a goddamn about that. When it comes down to saving lives and property, can they do the damn job? That's what I care about on merit. You cut $17.6 million from the budget. Oakland, out here in the Bay Area, Oakland. They're closing two firehouses, and I saw a brother of mine post that they're closing two more firehouses, station houses. So they're closing four station houses in Oakland. Four, and we get wildfires up here too. Again, the vegetation, lack of forest management. We've had fires up here a number of times. All praise to the Allah that it hasn't came, close to where I'm living. But it can happen. I'm looking at hills right now, plenty of trees. I'm looking right out my window right now as we speak, and there's a hill, and there's houses on this hill, and there's plenty of vegetation, and there's plenty of woods. You go back this way, it's some hills, wooded. So it can easily happen here. And it gets windy here too. We get those dry winds. SoCal get the Santa Ana winds. We don't get the Santa Ana winds, but we get our fair share of winds here too. So it can easily happen here in the Bay Area. We're only 6 hours north of LA, where these fires are raging. 6 hours. But it's just lack of accountability, lack of leadership. Gavin Newsom is incompetent. Karen Bass is incompetent. She was in Africa when these fires broke out. She brought her ass back, thankfully, but we know that they said that arson was the cause of these fires, and I could go with that, mixed with the Santa Ana winds. So it was criminal activity mixed with nature taking over. But the lack of incompetence and leadership is a driving force behind this destruction. If they would have managed the forest like Trump has suggested, and he even said on Joe Rogan a few months ago, back in October, I believe, when he was on Joe Rogan, he mentioned about the forest management. This is when he was running for president the second time. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He mentioned the forest management. So Gavin Newsom is like I can't stress enough. This guy is a disaster. I have disdain for Gavin Newsom. He's a San Francisco elite, rich boy. His wife is was an actor. Um, so they come from nothing but money. And while people have lost, and people in Hollywood, Mel Gibson, Ricky Lake, who else was it? Anna Faris, Billy Crystal, I said Mel Gibson, Jeff Bridges, I think Steve Gutenberg. I saw Dion Cole, the comedian. He had just got out of the hospital, and then he had to evacuate. So I don't know if he lost his home or not, but he had to evacuate, pack up what he could, and just evacuate. He had a video of him driving, and he saw the smoke and the flames, and he said, "That's above my house." So I don't know if the brother lost his home or not. I pray that he didn't. But a lot of people in Hollywood lost their homes. Anthony Hopkins, just to name a few. So, and it's just a shame. It's because this could have been prevented. We know, yes, Allah's judgment. You can't stop Allah's judgment. This is true. But you could prepare, you could be better prepared for disasters such as this. It's better to be ready than to get ready when a disaster strikes. And they got caught with their pants down. This state it's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Trump had mentioned he spoke to I think the president of Austria, and he was saying he was said that the president of Austria was like it's crazy how year after year after year after year after year y'all have these wildfires and y'all don't do nothing to prevent them from coming again. And I've been to Austria. I was stationed in Italy. Austria is north of Italy and south of Germany. Austria has the most beautiful scenery in the world. In the Alps, Austria in the summer, they have beautiful vegetation, beautiful forests for miles and miles around in these mountains. But guess what they don't have? Lack of leadership, lack of accountability. Austria knows how to manage their forests, unlike here. I'll tell you what, in the sequoias, that's federally protected land. Why aren't our forests federally protected? Why? Can someone answer me this? Why aren't our forests federally protected? All these woods and stuff. All these, yeah. Because federal protected land requires forest maintenance. The sequoias, you better believe that would not happen to the sequoia. We hope it wouldn't. But the sequoias is a nationally protected forest, and you better believe that they manage the hell out that forest. But land around people's homes, oh, we don't give a damn. Just let's let vegetation grow. Let it grow. It's crazy. How are the damn firefighters running out of water? How are the fire hydrants running dry? How is this happening? Why would you reroute the water, dry up the reservoirs, knowing every damn year, particularly in the summer months, August, September, October, August, September, we have wildfires like clockwork. This one in LA is rare because we rare. It's rare that we have wildfires in January. Since I've been out here in California, I've been out here almost 11 years. I don't recall us having wildfires in January in the dead of winter. We're normally having rain. We're normally having mudslides, not wildfires. Maybe before I moved out here, they probably did, but that was like years ago. But since I've been out here, and I've been out here since 2014, I don't recall California having wildfires in the month of January. I understand that LA hasn't had rain since May, and that wasn't that much. They had like a drizzle, but that's all the more reason to manage the forest. All the more reason to not dry up the reservoirs. The- Common sense, lack of common sense too, lack of accountability, lack of leadership, lack of common sense. Trump calls him Gavin Newsom. You know, it's people, well, he shouldn't do that. That's not presidential. But I'm not going to defend Gavin Newsom. He's a scumbucket. He's a piece of shit. Excuse me for saying that. Karen Bass, the same thing goes for her. I don't care that she shares my melanin. I don't give a damn about that. If you're incompetent, you're incompetent. Melanin or no melanin. And she's a gatekeeper for white supremacy. But that's another story for another day. That's a whole nother video. I'm not gonna get into that. But Karen Bass is it's like it's like these leaders. It's the same old thing. Maxine Waters, Karen Bass. Now up here, Barbara Lee left Congress. She's going to run for mayor of Oakland. So Barbara Lee comes from that same school of thought as Karen Bass and Maxine Waters. Do nothings. These old ass politicians that's been in power or been in politics for decades and haven't done nothing for their constituents. You got to look back in the annals to see the last thing that they did of significance. Tired of these politicians, especially these old black ones. Get out the way. We need young people who are actually going to do the work for the people. I'm tired of this popularity contest. You know, these photo ops. Newsom was in his feelings because he said Trump was attacking him, and rightfully so. And he said, "I stood by Joe Biden, and he was presidential, and he got our backs." Right. The man was bragging about being a great grandfather. The man has given billions upon billions of dollars to Ukraine over the last over damn near 3 years now, going on 3 years. This war with Ukraine and Russia. He's given billions upon billions of dollars to them. We could have used that money on here for these wildfires, for forest uh, management. Since Newsom's so buddy buddy with him, my wife brought up an excellent point. She said she think these wildfires are purposely set because people want to destroy the land and build on it. They want to, they want to price people out of Pacific Palisades, the areas where, just the areas where the working class people live. They want to price them out where they can't move back, rebuild their homes, and build new property, condos, whatso have you. Kind of like how they did in Maui or are doing in Maui. So it's crazy. That's what my wife was saying. I said, yeah, I could see that. And my wife isn't a conspiracy theorist, but she admits that conspiracies do exist. Like me, I'm the same way. It's just sad that people have lost billions of dollars in property. Even before that, that lives were lost. I think they said 11 lives were lost. That's more significant and important more than property. Lives were lost. Billions of dollars of property was destroyed, and it's going to take years, years, years for this to come back to where it was, if it ever does. And it's incompetence. I cannot stress that enough. Lack of accountability, incompetence, lack of leadership, lack of common sense, just piss poor management. It did not have to happen. And I'm getting to the point where California is becoming a shithole. It is. These politicians are just ruining California, ruining it. Oakland, San Francisco, Sacramento, LA, the Central Valley, San Diego. San Diego is actually nice, but I'm not sure about its politics. I think San Diego is mostly Republican. Orange County. When you go from LA, south to LA down, it's nothing but Republican. Orange County, mostly just Republican. That's Republican area down there. San Diego County. But LA is just it's become hell A. Hell A. And I'm not a fan of the city of Los Angeles. Never have been. I detest Hollyweird. Um, People in LA are to me, as far as I'm concerned, people in LA are the most rudest, obnoxious, nastiest people in the country. LA. I've witnessed the most rudest, obnoxious, just downright disgusting, nasty people in LA. No regard for anyone but themselves. Selfish. The city of angels. But having said all that, that doesn't mean that I want them to lose property or people to lose their lives because a good majority of of the people in the city are fucktards. Well, the ones I've met, just going off my experience, they're just some fucked up people. You know, no one deserves this. And politics aside, it don't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. Gavin Newsom made this a political pissing match. That's unfortunate because had it been a Democrat in the White House when the Paradise Fires happened in 2017, 2018, he would adhere to what he was being told or advised. But being that it's Donald Trump and people so concerned with him being a convicted felon, which doesn't mean a damn thing because he didn't even have to show up for the trial. Nope. He didn't even have to show up for the trial. He's not going to jail, not going to prison. It means nothing. The man is getting inaugurated in 9 days on next Monday, not this Monday, but the following Monday, January 20th. 9 days from now, he will be inaugurated as the 47th president of these United States of America. So, in the grand scheme of things, him being convicted doesn't mean shit. Okay. And next. So what? He's a convicted felon. But guess what? Half our state is on fire. People lost their lives. People lost billions of dollars in property. Michael Franzese did a video yesterday, and he was mentioning that it was a 91-year-old man, 91-year-old man who had raised his family in his home. I think it was in, I don't know if it was in Altadena Pacific or Pacific Palisades, but he had raised his family in his home for decades, made memories there, and they went up in flames. Went up in flames. That's heartbreaking to raise a family, and I think probably his grandkids. Decades of memories gone. You cannot replace that. Yeah, you can replace vehicles. You can buy clothes, replace those, get a new home, but you can't replace the memories of the place that of where you built your memories at. That can't be. That's irreplaceable. Just sad. Oh man. So again, oh, I saw where Karen Bass turned down help from the New York Fire Department. Lady, you can't afford to turn down help from anybody. Really? Somebody wanna reach out to help and you turn it. I never understood that. In a time of disaster when your people need them and leaders turning down help. That doesn't make sense to me. George W. Bush did that shit during Katrina. Fidel Castro reached out to the White House and wanted to send first responders from Cuba to help out in New Orleans and in the Gulf Coast. And W. Bush told them, "Don't bother." I never understood. Make that make sense to me. You need the help, but you turn it down. You turn your nose up. I don't need your help. Oh yes, you do. You do. I never understood it. Well, Gavin Newsom, Mexico reached out to Gavin Newsom, and they're sending some firefighters, I guess, some first responders from Mexico to help with the fires in California. And I know Canada sent some down too. So at least Governor Dumbass is not being a dumbass and turning down the help. At least he's not doing that. But in a sense, he kind of did because he turned down Trump's advice and Trump's help. I don't know. Make it make sense. You allow Canada and Mexico to help out, but your own president or the incoming president, you turn your nose up at him and don't want his help or his advice. This they politics aside. Come on. Now it's not the time for that. But I hope and pray that LA will learn a lesson from this. I hope the state of California will learn a lesson from this. I really do. Because when you don't take accountability, when you're irresponsible, you don't you just flat out pompous and lazy. This is the end result. Do better, California. Do better, LA. We need to elect leaders that care about the people instead of just want to do photo ops and using empty slogans. We need people who aren't beholden to the almighty dollar or who are going to try to take the credit and move up the political to take the credit and then use this as a notch to move up their political ladder. Because I believe Gavin Newsom has aspirations of running for president in 2028. And God help us. God help us. He's from my generation, Generation X. We do need somebody from Generation X in government. We do need people from the generation after mine and after that generation in the politics or studying to get into politics because we need young leaders. We need young leaders. It's time out for these 70s and 80s something politicians. They're stuck in their old ways. They stuck in doing things from the 60s and 70s and 80s. We're halfway through this decade. So we need new leadership. We do. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit that subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. It's time out for the old guard. They need to go. They need to move out. They had their time. It's time for new young leadership. Don't think there's any more I could say about this. It's just I hope this doesn't happen again. I hope it doesn't. I pray that it doesn't. I like to think of myself as an optimistic person, but I'm afraid it's going to happen again. I'm afraid it's going to happen again, and it's going to be worse, and it's going to happen up here in the Bay Area. I just one thing about this country and its leadership, they're very pompous, very arrogant. Um, they refuse to learn their lesson. They just refuse. They say the definition of insanity is doing something over and over and over again and expecting a different result each time. Well, the leaders in this country, whether it's mayors, governors, presidents, they're the most insane people on the planet. They think that doing having the same policies, doing the same thing over and over again, it's gonna change the outcome of things. And it shows that it hasn't. It only makes matters worse. And I'm afraid that this is gonna happen again. And it's gonna happen up here in the Bay Area. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope to Allah and pray that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. I'm more wrong than two left shoes. and two left mittens, gloves. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't have faith in people, or I should say confidence. I just don't have the confidence that people will learn. They want to continue to do things their way, not the right way. Hope and pray that this doesn't happen again, that LA has learned their lesson, but I think this is going to happen again in California. And I say that because look at the Paradise Fire in 2017, 2018. I think that was 2018. The fire before that. We had fires in Napa and wine country a few years back. The this state, this state government is by far probably the worst one and the worst run government in the world. I stake my claim on that. They're sorry. They're pathetic. They are. They're just, and anybody who lives in California who's been out here long enough, they see what I'm talking about. They see it. It's just too much backbiting and with the other side because we know California is a heavily blue state. It's too much fighting with the other side, and they don't want to put the people. They don't want to put. They don't have their interests at heart. They want to be concerned with being the first to hire the first transgender this, the first lesbian, the first woman, black woman, the first this, but you don't want to fix the roads. You don't want to you raising the price of the tolls out here. The bridges went up $1 last week. The roads in Oakland are terrible. You would have better luck driving on the moon. I mean, it's like moon-sized craters on some of these streets. There's no gravity on the moon, so yeah, you probably could just but it's crazy. You have moon-sized craters in some of these on some of these streets, but yet you want to raise the price of the tolls on the bridges. We're taxed heavily in California than any other state in the union. My question is, where's all this money going? Where is it going? 40% of our checks are taxed when we work. 40%. Or 40, I know 40%, I think it's 40%, 45%. I know it's a good amount taxed. We pay more taxes out here than anyone else in the country. It's more expensive to live in the San Francisco Bay Area than it is in Midtown Manhattan. It's more expensive to live in the San Francisco Bay Area than in Midtown Manhattan. So I don't think you heard me the first time. It is crazy. We have the homeless problem with homelessness. Crime is rampant, but yet they want to raise the price of everything. Walgreens is closing 12 stores in San Francisco. Did y'all hear what I just said? Walgreens is closing 12 stores in San Francisco within the next few months. I mentioned earlier in this video that they're closing two fire stations in Oakland. Now I saw a friend of mine put that they're closing two more. This you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. People think of California as sunshine, beaches, skiing, glitz and glamour. No, it's fucked up. It could be a beautiful place, but these sorry ass incompetent so-called leaders have fucked it up. I'm sorry for cussing, but I'm just so fed up and frustrated. They have really fucked up. It's just insanity. Rent's going up, food's going up. Someone said um, a carton, a dozen of eggs, a carton, just a dozen of eggs is $9 now. I spoke to a guy I work with. He said he went to Costco. He couldn't find brown eggs. There were white eggs and they were stacked up. Yeah, plenty of white eggs. He couldn't find the brown shell eggs. They have plenty of the white shell eggs. It's crazy. I hate to think what a carton of milk costs now or a gallon of milk costs. It's just crazy. Like I said, something's got to give. Something's got to change. And until we hold these people accountable and bring them to the carpet, then it's going to be business as usual. We know that we cannot prevent Allah's judgment. We cannot prevent um, destruction, but we could do our best when it's things that's in your power to do. The power of God is in us. When there's things that you could do to prevent disasters from occurring, then by all means do it. Don't wait until the disaster happens and you run around like a chicken with his head cut off or your pants between your legs looking stupid, which is what is going on in Southern California right now. The leadership down there look is utterly they look clueless. They are clueless. And like I said, I pray that this doesn't happen again, but I'm afraid that it will. I hope and pray that it doesn't, but I'm afraid that it will because these people they don't learn. They don't learn. They don't listen. They don't learn. They think they know it all. They're pompous. Um, they don't give a damn because it's not affecting them. If Gavin Newsom was losing his property, if Karen Bass was losing her property, then things would be different. But they're not. They're not losing. They're not losing anything. So why should they care? We need new leadership. We need even we just so exhausted. You ever just got to that point where you just exhausted until you can't even say anymore? I don't want to like sound like a robot. I keep repeating myself, but it's just so exhausting. It is because this didn't have to happen. On that note, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit that subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. Drop the comments below. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your opinions, your comments. So please drop them below. Share this video, share it, share it, share it, share it, share it. Share it as much as possible. Share it as 10 times over, 20 times over. Please share it. Not just this video, any of my videos. Share it. Let's have the conversation. It needs to be had. Let's have a conversation. Um, I'm not big on donating to the Red Cross because the people who need that money don't get that money. The Red Cross get that money, and God knows what they do with it. So I would say find some local charities, some charities in SoCal to donate to. I'm going to do that too. Um, I know some people set up GoFundmes. I'm not a real big fan of GoFundmes. Um, Not a big fan of. I have donated to them, but I'd rather donate to a GoFundMe than to the American Red Cross because that money doesn't go to the recipients. It goes to the American Red Cross, to God knows whomever, to fatten their pockets. So I would say donate. Try to find or research local charities down there in SoCal, in the LA area, churches, nonprofit organizations to donate to, where the people who need the money will get the money. The people who need the help will get the help. I'm gonna do the same thing. So let's help our fellow citizens down there in the LA area. Hit that also hit that thumbs up button. Okay, smash that thumbs up button down, smash it down. Hit that subscribe button. Support my YouTube channel here and my future projects that's coming down the pike. Be greatly appreciated. Please continue to support your brother. I need it. I need y'all love and support. So please, please, please continue to support me. I know that there are going to be some who disagree with me on what I said in this video, and that's fine and dandy. We all entitled to our opinion. Just keep this in mind. Let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. In our disagreements, let's use logic, common sense, respect, and facts, not emotion and disrespect. That will get you nowhere. So let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. On that note, brothers and sisters, y'all be safe out here. Be safe. Beware and be aware. It's a beautiful day here in the Bay Area. I think it's like 67 degrees out here. The sun is shining. So um, just enjoy the day. Those of y'all in the Bay Area out here. Those of y'all in the South, the Midwest, on the East Coast, stay warm. Oh, Atlanta. Wow, y'all got a lot of snow down there. Y'all got more snow than Detroit. Wow. So all my family and friends in the South, the Midwest, on the East Coast, y'all stay warm. Do not go out unless you have to, unless it's absolutely necessary. If not, stay yourselves home. Stay warm. Stay safe. Drink plenty of water. Eat plenty of soup, beef stew, stuff like that. Something that's gonna warm you up. Navy bean soup. It's good for you. Vegetable soup, chicken soup, whatever. But why they want y'all to buy milk? What's up with this thing with milk and bread? Well, particularly milk. Unless you're a baby, but babies get their milk naturally from their mother. You know what? Uh, that's a whole nother video for another day. Y'all stay safe. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy now more than ever before. So beware and be aware. I love y'all. Y'all take care. And inshallah, I will talk to y'all soon. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.